Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe. Let's meet on 31st of January, the last day of month of January 2023. And today is otherwise also a very important day because tomorrow is the Indian budget. That means 1st of February, the budget will be presented by the Honorable Finance Minister of India. And of course, this evening, you will have the economic survey report and other areas which will be given to all of us. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to discuss with you in detail, which we committed to you yesterday, that we are going to talk about service industry. What are the expectations in the budget 2023 by the general public and of course our corporate houses in different sectors, different arenas? What are they expecting from the budget? So we'll be talking in detail about services sector, service industry, but at the same time, we will be going a little bit more into depth in the education, skills, tourism, and what are our expectations as far as the budget of 2023 is concerned. We would look forward to your valuable comments, your views, your suggestions. If anything you want to tell about the budget, which is coming tomorrow, if any prediction from your side, if any views from your side, you can post it on our YouTube channel as this program is going live globally. So today, Chandigarh also hosted a very special program for G20, and the next one is coming in month of March. So G20 is also the value addition which we have got in our country. Let's move on together, all of us. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, green morning, green afternoon, green evening. So budget 2023, some of the highlights from our side. And we would like to share certain vision by different groups, what they wish to get in the services sector. Yesterday, we did the brief, just the teaser of service industry expectations. And today we are going to get into details. Our brothers and sisters across the globe, our non-resident Indian diaspora, they're also waiting and they're looking forward to what the budget is going to get to us tomorrow. So Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, world over, how the economy is going to grow, how the India is going to leap bound, how India is going to move forward, what exactly is going to happen in different sectors of the economy. We will take them one by one. Our chamber, because we work very closely with the non-resident Indians, our brothers and sisters across the globe in different countries, those 32 million people are also waiting what Indian budget would be presenting tomorrow. Let me just share with you that the non-resident Indians, they contribute in a very big way as far as India's economy is concerned. Their financial remittances, their contribution to India's human resource, education, research, innovation, technology, mentorship, adopting the villages, because a lot of NRIs are there. They have got an emotional bond with the villages where they were born, the places they were born. So they feel like doing something over there from time to time. They also take care of the educators and the youth in those villages and their states, their union territories. So also, if you recall, Honorable Prime Minister gave the agenda that every non-resident Indian should bring at least 5 tourists with them when they're visiting India, because if they come, they would add value into many respects as far as the economic prosperity of India further is concerned. At the same time, recently you saw that the Pravasi Bharati Divas was held in Indore, where the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated on 9th and Honorable President of India on 10th. She gave the wonderful, the testimonials and the honorarias and rewards and awards which were given over there to our non-resident Indian brothers and sisters. अभी आरबीआई की एक रिपोर्ट से अगर आप देखें तो यू विल कम टू नो कि एनआरआईज जो है नॉन रेजिडेंट इंडियन, how do they contribute to India's economy? Either they deposit their money into the banks or they do investment into certain properties, and at the same time they remit the money to the family also. They visit their families, they maintain their families, they upsurge their families. A lot of things are there which are there. And when we talk about the remittance, that is as a FDI, foreign direct investment. So you can see it right over here, the bags and five biggest recipients of the remittance of the non-resident Indian. India is leading, that is 71 billion, equivalent the US dollar. Thereafter, number two is China, 60. Philippines is 26, Mexico 22, and Nigeria 21. Those are interested to know that their countrymen, those have gone abroad in different countries, how are they contributing? And there's a something very interesting I wish to share with you. जो एनआरआईज का पैसा एफडीआई के माध्यम से भारत में आता है, या तो बैंकों में आता है, या इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में आता है, या किसी और रूप स्वरूप में आता है उनकी फैमिली को सपोर्ट करने में, जो भी इन्वेस्टमेंट नॉन रेजिडेंट इंडियंस की तरफ से आती है, यदि आप भारत के सर्विस टैक्स को लें, कस्टम ड्यूटी को लें, एक्साइज ड्यूटी को लें, इन तीनों को जोड़ें, तब भी आपको लगेगा कि जो नॉन रेजिडेंट इंडियन का इनफ्लो है एफडीआई का, it is more than the combined effort of these three. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, the value of the non-resident Indian and their contribution to India. Honorable Prime Minister has got a vision that India should become the 5 trillion economy. Bharat 5 trillion economy कैसे बनेगा, कब बनेगा, किस तरह से बनेगा, स्टेट्स क्या योगदान क्या रहेगा, उसके बारे में भी डिटेल में बातचीत. Over here, I wish to share with you that किसी भी country की जो economy है, that is based on three areas, your agriculture sector, manufacturing sector, services sector, और ये तीनों एक दूसरे पर overlap भी करते हैं, एक दूसरे को support भी करते हैं, एक दूसरे को empower भी करते हैं, but our chamber is focusing on service industry. Okay. GDP. When you talk about the gross domestic produce and product, whatsoever comes in the country, one is the nominal GDP and one is the real GDP. जो लोग economics की background से wonderful, others can understand. Now, according to the data which is available, सबसे पहले आपको ये पता लगना चाहिए कि nominal GDP क्या है और आपकी real GDP क्या है. जब nominal GDP की बातचीत करते हैं तो it refers to the GDP at the current prices. In other words, it is the market value of the goods and services which are produced in the domestic territory of any country in a particular year at the current price what we have got. When we think about real GDP, it refers to the GDP at the constant prices. In other words, जो real GDP है, it is the market value of the goods and services produced in the domestic territory of any country in a particular year at base year price, not current year price, base year price. That is called real GDP. नीचे हमने source भी आपको दिया है, हर slide में नीचे आपको source मिलेगा so that you can understand. अब ये मैंने कल आपको डिटेल में डिस्कस किया था, आज नहीं करूंगा, because yesterday I have given you all the details कि constituent sectors of the service industry. जो लोग service industry को जानना चाहते हैं, समझना चाहते हैं, you have got all the details available over here. So please go through in your own time and understand, because this program is going live on the YouTube. You can see anywhere. अगर आज हम इंडिया की इकोनॉमी को देखें कि एग्रीकल्चर का कंट्रीब्यूशन, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का कंट्रीब्यूशन और सर्विसेज का, तो you would be proud to know at present we have got maximum contribution to India's economy coming from service industry. इसी में आगे चलते हैं. ये देखिए 2018 के अंदर, फरवरी के अंदर, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, एक 12 सेक्टर्स को आइडेंटिफाई किया गया सर्विस इंडस्ट्री के, और ये कहा गया कि इनको एम्पावर करें to improve the entire ecosystem of the services sector through education, through skills, through competencies, through entrepreneurship, through startups, and a couple of other opportunities which has to be given in service industry, which we all have to understand. मैं थोड़ी देर के बाद जो लोग YouTube पर ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, I would like to read out your names in a little while. Keep posting your views. मैं चाहता हूं कि आप भी अपने व्यूज शेयर करें. किसी के पास किसी तरीके की सर्विस इंडस्ट्री की कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन हो, तो आप इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, शेयर कर सकते हैं. आई विल रीड आउट दैट पर्टिकुलर efforts of yours, because this platform is to share the knowledge, to share the wisdom. It is a reservoir which should be utilized by everybody. आगे चलते हैं. This year's budget to give, अब हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है कि जो बजट है 2023 का, it should give the digital infrastructure push. It should give the push upward. Digital technology ko, digital infrastructure ko. So this year's budget to give digital infrastructure and skill a very high priority. That's what is the expectation, because India ko 5 trillion economy banna hai, jisme digital technology ko we have to adapt in almost all areas. Aapko pata hai ki IT aur ITES jo hai, that contributes maximum to India's services export kitty. That is something very important which we would like to understand. आगे चलते हैं. Education at school level. New education policy आई 2020, 29 July 2020 को, and there we talk about कि education school level पर, college level पर, vocational में, digital में, foreign universities coming to India. Couple of things have been discussed. Now the adaptation of the EdTech in the execution of Nipun Bharat mission, आपको याद होगा, this requires further push. Nipun का हिंदी का एक इंग्लिश में भी लिया गया. N is for national, I is for initiative. किस चीज के लिए? For proficiency in reading with understanding and numeracy. Now this requires a further push as far as India's budget is concerned. Higher education में आपके सामने दो चीजें आ रही हैं बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट. एक डिजिटल यूनिवर्सिटी आ रही है, और एक फॉरेन जो यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं उनके कैंपसेस कमिंग अप इन इंडिया एट डिफरेंट प्लेसेस इन डिफरेंट लोकेशंस, व्हिच विल बी परमिटेड, एंड इनिशियली दे विल गेट द सैंक्शन फॉर 10 years. दैट वुड बी फर्दर एक्सटेंडेबल. तो उसके ऊपर काफी चीजों की क्लैरिफिकेशन आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इन द बजट टुमारो वी विल कम टू नो कि डिजिटल यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए फर्दर क्या एलोकेशंस हैं, जो फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज आ रही हैं उनका किस तरीके से होगा, और उसके ऊपर उनको क्या कोई टैक्स रिलीफ मिलेगा, कुछ टैक्स इंसेंटिव्स मिलेगा, क्या इंप्लीकेशंस होंगे. लॉट ऑफ पीपल दोज आर इंटरेस्टेड टू इन्वेस्ट इन इंडिया, दे आर आस्किंग आवर चेंबर कि भाई हमें बताओ तो सही कि फाइनली क्या है. तो टुमारो आई थिंक tomorrow the curtains will be removed and we will come to know what exactly is there. They will be raised. Free internet for students and teachers. ये भी एक बड़ी strong recommendation आई है कि throughout India, if we have to push youth, because Corona call के अंदर families have suffered, parents have suffered, teachers are having lots of challenges. At the same time, students are also having challenges, and we are adopting technology in a very fast pace. So one of the recommendation which comes is there should be a provision of the free internet for students and teachers across India. It should be provided in entire education ecosystem. अब आते हैं tourism industry के ऊपर. What exactly tourism industry is hoping? What could be the structural transformation? How the government is doing hand holding or is going to do hand holding? I do not want to discuss what exactly happened during the pandemic, because tourism suffered heavily as far as our travel agents, tour operator, tourist transporter, tourist excursionist, tourist guide, everybody had the challenge during the pandemic. Let's move ahead from there and we try and see in a positive way. जो कुछ एक incentives भी उनको मिलते थे during the pandemic, even they were lifted. They were not given that hand holding what they deserve. Let's see tomorrow what kind of a budget allocation we get for the tourism push, because देखो अपना देश, वो सब चीजें, domestic tourism, quite a bit of it we have discussed. Hospitality industry also suffered very badly. Now we expect government to announce again जो e-visa 5 लाख लोगों के लिए पहले दिया गया, international tourists के लिए जो पहले भारत में आएंगे, further are we going to get some allocations onto that? That is again something very important. Now additionally हमको ये भी सोचना पड़ेगा कि what kind of trends are coming up in wellness tourism. I always talk to Sector Skill Council for Wellness, Monica Behel ma'am, Blossom Kosher ma'am, and their team, and they are very, very dynamic people. They're doing a lot because आज के young बच्चे, they want to look smart, they want to talk smart, they want to walk smart, they want to adapt to new technology. At the same time, they're very conscious about their health also. One should be, because you require mental wellness also You require physical wellness also. You have to look smart, you have to walk smart, you have to talk smart. Now, corporate, they could be given incentive to organize meetings and conferences. MICE industry भी बहुत आगे से बढ़ रही है. So this particular segment also requires lots of push which has to be given. तो इसके अंदर भी एक थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा. What kind of a tax exemption? Is there going to be some corpus fund for the MICE industry? That is something again we would like to understand. Launching the green tax incentives or offering subsidies to travel firms that are investing in the green technologies. It is also expected कि जो लोग green technologies में और जो इस तरीके के काम कर रहे हैं, तो क्या कोई green tax incentives या कुछ इस तरीके की subsidy या कुछ उनको offering दी जाए. Let us see in tomorrow's budget that as well. Hospitality industry की जहां तक बातचीत आती है, क्योंकि अब कोरोना के बाद people are interested not to travel in a very big group. They want to be in small groups. They want to be in a family group. They want to go to those locations जहां पर फार्म हाउसेज हो, कुछ रूरल टूरिज्म हो, नेचर टूरिज्म हो, इको टूरिज्म हो और एग्री टूरिज्म हो, ऑर्गेनिक टूरिज्म हो, खुद से ही कुछ ऑर्गेनिक खाया जाए जिससे कि स्वास्थ्य भी ठीक रहे और आप भी ठीक रहे. दैट ऑल इज टू बी सी. फूड एंड बेवरेजेस सेक्टर, हॉस्पिटैलिटी के अंदर दे आर आल्सो एक्सपेक्टिंग some kind of a thing. अब देखिए होटल इंडस्ट्री में 18% का GST is very high when you look at your neighboring countries and others. Those are doing extremely well in tourism. So let me go on to the YouTube and let me see if some good suggestions have come from anybody. People, those have joined us on the YouTube, hearty welcome, pleasure. Today's winner is Madam Vidhi Jaiswal, being the first to join on the YouTube. Mohit Chaudhary. And thereafter, we have got Dilshan Wafa. We have got Anil Singh Rawatji. We have got Dilshan Wafa. And then we have got Arshdeep. Then we have got Sunil Chaudhary. Then we have got Amisha Ji. Then we have got Pariyansha. Then we have got a big group. एक बड़ा ग्रुप है स्टूडेंट्स का पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट से. इट्स कॉल्ड स्टूडेंट क्वेरीज. मुझे आप लोगों के सजेशंस भी चाहिए. आप क्या बजट में कल एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं? दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट विच वी हैव टू. इफ एनीबडी हैज गॉट एनी सजेशन, इफ यू वांट टू शेयर एनीथिंग universally with the global audience, then here is the platform. You can share your vision. राहुल चौधरी, हार्टी वेलकम टू यू. और जितेंद्र राठौर भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं और अनिरुद्ध भी जुड़े हैं, अनुप्रिया भी जुड़े हैं, डॉक्टर निशा सिंह भी जुड़े हैं. इन सभी का बहुत बहुत हार्दिक अभिनंदन है. अगर किसी का कल की बजट के लिए कोई भी सुझाव है किसी भी तरीके का, यू कैन पोस्ट इट राइट ओवर हियर. आई विल रीड आउट because let your information be shared on the global platform. अब होटल और जो रिजॉर्ट सेक्टर है, उन लोगों ने भी कुछ बातचीत टैक्स के रिलीफ के बारे में बातचीत की है कि गवर्नमेंट की जो कल बजट अनाउंस होगा या जो नई टूरिज्म की पॉलिसी आएगी उसके अंदर किस तरीके का बेनिफिट हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री को मिलता है, किस तरीके का रिलीफ उनको मिलता है. दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट विच वी हैव टू सी. और एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं, जब भी बातचीत करते हैं, टूरिज्म की बातचीत जरूर करते हैं. जब उन्होंने कोरोना में बातचीत की तो उन्होंने देखो अपना देश की बातचीत की. अब उसके बाद टूरिज्म जब रिकवर हो रहा है, जब एनआरआई की बातचीत करते हैं तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं कि हर एनआरआई अपने साथ 5 टूरिस्ट को लेकर आए. इफ दैट इज द एजेंडा, हम टूरिज्म को इंडस्ट्री डिक्लेयर क्यों नहीं करते? कोई मुझसे ये कहेगा कि नहीं जी, टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री तो डिक्लेयर हो चुका है. सी, tourism, whether it's a center subject or it's a state subject, first of all you got to understand, जब सारी states, सारी union territories एक बड़े फलक्रम में सब लोग इकट्ठे मिलके इस चीज को लेकर चलेंगे, then tourism would be taken as a concept in totality that tourism is an industry. It enjoys the status of the industry. क्योंकि टूरिज्म में जितने भी लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, आपके ट्रैवल ट्रेड के लोग हैं, आपके टूरिस्ट के जो साथ उनको फैसिलिटेटर हैं, जो एकोमोडेशन में हैं, केटरिंग में हैं, हॉस्पिटैलिटी में हैं, जो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में है, जो गाइडिंग सर्विसेज में है, उन सबको भी हम लेकर चलते हैं. तो दे ऑल आर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू सम काइंड ऑफ ए रिलीफ and some kind of an incentive coming from the government in tomorrow. They all are expecting कि कल बजट में कुछ ऐसा अनाउंस किया जाए जिससे टूरिज्म आगे बढ़े. एंड सेकेंडली, कल के बजट में क्या टूरिज्म को प्रायोरिटी मिलती है? वेदर declaring tourism as an industry is one thing, but giving tourism as a priority sector, because वो डिपेंड करेगा कि बजट कितना मिलता है, टूरिज्म किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ता है. दैट ऑल पार्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. उसके बाद now tourism जो इंडस्ट्री है, it urges the government to release benefits under SEIS. अगर आपको याद हो, कोविड से पहले सर्विसेज एक्सपोर्ट्स फ्रॉम इंडिया स्कीम के अंडर जितने भी ट्रैवल ट्रेड के लोग हैं, क्योंकि वो एमएसएमई के अंदर जब हम बातचीत करते हैं तो स्मॉल मीडियम एंटरप्राइज में आते हैं हमारे ट्रैवल ट्रेड के लोग, और उन लोगों को एक तरीके का इंसेंटिव सर्विसेज एक्सपोर्ट्स पर, क्योंकि टूरिज्म क्या है, जब बाहर से कोई आता है, भारत देखता है, फॉरेन एक्सचेंज एक्सपेंड करता है, तो क्या है वो? दैट्स ए फॉरेन एक्सचेंज अर्निंग. That means you are exporting services. So there was a benefit under SEIS और वो हटा लिया गया. चाहे थोड़ा ही हो, चाहे छोटा ही हो, लेकिन उससे ये तो पता लगता था. So services eligible to claim the benefits under the SEIS: business services, communication services, construction and engineering services, education services, environmental services, health and wellness related social services, tourism and travel trade related services, recreational, cultural, sporting and transportation services, ये सभी तो सर्विसेज सेक्टर के अंदर है. अब मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ टूरिज्म, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने आपके ट्रैवल ट्रेड के अंदर जो टूरिस्ट गाइड है, उनके लिए एक स्पेशल प्रोग्राम, उनको प्रोफेशनल बनाने के लिए, पर्टिकुलरली टूरिज्म, एयरलाइंस और हॉस्पिटैलिटी में, उन लोगों ने एट डिफरेंट लेवल्स, ऑलमोस्ट ऑल लेवल्स पे, स्पेशली पोस्ट पैंडेमिक पीरियड में ये कहा कि यदि आप इस तरीके का कोई प्रोग्राम करते हैं तो यू विल बी सर्टिफाइड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड बाय द मिनिस्ट्री. दैट इज समथिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ मोहित चौधरी कह रहे हैं कि आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू कि कल के बजट में सरकार एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन करने के लिए क्या करती है, एंड एट द सेम टाइम जो लोग इंडिया से बाहर जाना चाहते हैं, जो स्टूडेंट हैं या प्राइवेट एम्प्लॉयज हैं, उनको गवर्नमेंट किस तरीके का इंसेंटिव देती है. क्या बच्चों को लोन लोअर रेट पे मिलता है, इजीली मिलता है, एंड एवरीथिंग इज एक्सेसिबल. अब ये देखिए, ये जो स्कीम देखो अपना देश, जिसको बेसिकली हमने 2022 के एंड तक किया, व्हाई नॉट इट शुड बी एक्सटेंडेड फर्दर, व्हाई नॉट इट शुड गेट एक्सटेंडेड इन अ वे. और इसके अंदर खासकर ये भी हो कि जो लोग नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया विजिट करने जाएंगे उनके लिए कोई स्पेशल इंसेंटिव होना चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट प्लेस नीड्स लॉट ऑफ सपोर्ट एंड हैंड होल्डिंग. अब आ जाते हैं हम यूथ पे, खासकर जो हमारी टूरिज्म एंड हॉस्पिटैलिटी की, बिकॉज देयर आर 37 to 38 सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल्स गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की अंडर द एजेस ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. तो जब आप कौशल भारत और कुशल भारत की बातचीत करते हैं, हाउ टू ट्रांसफॉर्म द स्किल्स लैंडस्केप इन इंडिया, तो वहां पर टूरिज्म एंड जो हॉस्पिटैलिटी सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल है, थोड़े दिन पहले जो इनके हेड हैं, जो सीईओ हैं, उनके साथ मेरी मोनिका बहल मैम ने, जो सीईओ वेलनेस के हैं, उनके साथ बातचीत कराई थी. आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू वन ऑफ द इंटरेक्शन with the CEO of the Tourism and Hospitality Sector Skill Council. Let's share the vision. Let's see what do you feel about it and what all can be done. Now, relief and रिबेट जो है वो जीएसटी में, टैक्सेस में, टूरिज्म एंड हॉस्पिटैलिटी को, बिकॉज जो जीएसटी है उसका इंपैक्ट आप देखिए होटल एंड टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री पे, जब 18% आप चार्ज करते हैं, सो दैट इज समथिंग क्वाइट हाई and it gives a lot of bleeding effect. So let's move further. Technical, financial and administrative support needed from the government. अब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी जब 3 T's की बात करते हैं तो ट्रेड, टूरिज्म एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. जब आप ट्रेड, टूरिज्म एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की बातचीत करते हैं तो ट्रस्ट, ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड टाइमलीनेस, इसके बारे में भी काफी बातचीत होती है, डिस्कशन होता है. We all should work in that particular direction. We should take the vision forward, and on 3rd of February we would be holding a panel discussion for you with the legends of the Indian tourism industry, which will be led by none other than Dr. Subhash Goyal ji. So on 3rd of February. Do join us for the program at 8 p.m. और आज हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं कर्टन रेजर की बजट के बारे में कि बजट आगे कैसे चलेगा और कल के बजट में हमें क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं. That's what we are talking about. What kind of a fund allocation for the tourism industry are likely to be there? That also we are going to discuss. We all know sustainable development goals. Tourism cuts across almost all segments when you talk about. So, what is going to be the budget? What is going to be the fund allocation as far as travel tourism is concerned? We should also think about input tax credit for the tourism and hospitality industry. And when you want to understand this particular segment, it's very important. You should try and see what exactly is input credit means at the time of paying tax on output. That is something very important. हमने आपको यहाँ explain किया है. Please go through this so that you can understand. Now, at the same time, industry से demand है. There should be a global fund for tourism for the benefit of the travel trade, emergency credit guarantee scheme under the Ministry of Finance to support and to give the hand holding to this particular industry. आगे चलते हैं. Subsidy to the hoteliers and resorts and other tourism businesses pan India, not only for the few states, but it should cut across all the states in India. Everybody should think about it. When you talk about ease of doing business, of course, in travel and tourism, you've got Make My Trip, Go Agibibo, you have got Nerify, you have got Clear Trip, and you have got horde of apps available. Now, what do you mean by ease of doing business? What we wish to convey over here is that we got to further ease it. It has been eased, no doubt about it, but we got to make it more friendly, more simple, that within no time, with a click of button, without going to anybody, you are in a position to do everything at your own. Now, that is something very important. Now, over here, it should be further supported for the new players of service industry. Dilshan bhi YouTube pe kuch likh rahe hain. What is he writing over here? I have done my 93.5 score in 10+2 medical, but not to take merit and crack into NIIT. What is the budget for medical students who can pay the fee of a paid seat in government sector? I think we will get the expert Dilshan for that, because I'm not from the medical industry. I'm not from that particular segment. I will check up and I'll get back to you. And if need be, we will hold one discussion on that as well with the experts. Now, tourism sector. Loan for the long term should be given. On easy rate should be given. On minimal rate, it should be given. And if we are really interested to develop tourism infrastructure, including the digital services which has to be given post-pandemic times, why not to set up the Tourism and Hospitality Council at the earliest? There's a Bar Council of India. There's a Medical Council of India. Let there be a Tourism and Hospitality Council also. Now, bridging the new administrative designation. देखिए हमारे पास IAS है, IPS है, IRS है, and Indian Revenue Service है, Indian Railway Service है. Why not we should work out Indian Tourism Service and to differentiate it from the ITS, income tax में ना जाके, you can call it ITTS, that is Indian Travel and Tourism Services. But there should be a cadre so that the experts are there and they can take it on. When I was talking about those 15 places where the date should be extended and people should be allowed to travel, ladies and gentlemen, why not the Northeast? Because that is your future destination. That is something very important which we all have to see. Look at these beautiful glimpses of the photographs of the 8 beautiful states with 45 million people and something length and breadth. When you talk about Northeast, these are very, very nice people. Let me move further. And we come to public-private partnership in real sense between the state government and the service providers in the private sector. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a national union government and there are local governments. So there got to be a wonderful participation between public and the private sector in the real sense. That means between the state governments and the service providers in the private sector. All of them, they have to work together. If you recall, sometime back, we have done the program with you, India Service Industry 2047. And we had taken one of the segment, market research and consultancy services. Now, this segment is growing very fast, leaps and bounds. You got to understand. And when you are in the market, when you are in consultancy, you got to see the competitors, the vendors, the customers, the industries, the markets, and the product and services. All that you have to take into consideration. And there is a specific process. It is a laid down process which you have to take into consideration as far as market research and consultancy is concerned. और एक मन में और विचार आता है, इसके ऊपर हमने 2 प्रोग्राम भी किए हैं. Whenever you get time, you must go through this. That is something very interesting. हमारा जो टूरिज्म है, डोमेस्टिक टूरिज्म, भारत का टूरिज्म, क्योंकि टूरिज्म हमारे कल्चर में झलकता है. इट्स ए पार्ट ऑफ आवर कल्चरल हेरिटेज. तो जो स्कूल की एजुकेशन है, हमारा टूरिज्म जो है, डोमेस्टिक टूरिज्म जो है, जो इंडिया का टूरिज्म है, it should become integral part of our school education. This is a very strong recommendation and we would keep making it to all levels, all times. फिर टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री की बातचीत करती है, समय के साथ सब कुछ बदलता है. With time everything changes. Why not we should call travel agents as travel facilitator? We should call tour operator as tourist counselors. We should call tourist guides as tourism facilitators. Ladies and gentlemen, we all are facilitator for the customers in the service industry when we are providing services. Now, tourism ki jo textbooks hai in schools, again, you have to take into consideration from education establishments and skill providers, earn and learn. If there are more than 1,035 travel and tourism, which is being taught in different institutions, now education and skill got to be relevant. Let's teach and let's share the information which is relevant, which is futuristic, which gets me a job, which makes me an entrepreneur. And let's make the optimum use of the digital technology. At the same time, our radio, our television, our mobile phones, our various search engines, social media, all that should become very strong to provide the authentic, correct, updated, futuristic information. Travel insurance is also very important. आप रेलवे की बुकिंग करो तो एक छोटा सा आइकॉन उसके अंदर अलग से आ जाएगा. वुड यू लाइक टू गेट योरसेल्फ इंश्योर्ड व्हाइल ट्रैवलिंग बाय रेलवेज? उसी तरीके से कोई भी जर्नी आप लेते हैं किसी तरीके की भी, वेदर डोमेस्टिक, विद इन इंडिया और यू आर ट्रैवलिंग अदरवाइज एनीवेयर, the travel insurance is very important because you travel hassle free. Future में health insurance भी it's going to get a boost and a big jump. I'll share with you in a little while, because healthcare and medical tourism, that also is very important for India. And I'm pretty sure that जब हम अमृत काल की बातचीत सुनते हैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से कि भारत 2047 में कैसा होगा, it comes deeply into our emotions and our mind that look, medical tourism is going to play one of the very important role in the area of services sector as far as India's growth is concerned. Now, incentives for online specialist, the medical learning and medical training, the paramedical people and others, they all, and you recall कि government ने कैसे initiative लिया था some time back, and government has done wonderful through the UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, and through various modems. When you talk about Paytm, you talk about Bheem, you talk about Google Pay, you talk about Unalite and by the SBI and couple of other. Now, this is the complete process we are giving you. जैसे mark कर लीजिए अपने मन में, जैसे UPI revolution लाया, उसी तरीके से next चीज is coming up in the healthcare sector by the Prime Minister, that is Unified Health Interface. Now, this is going to be very important because unified, the health interface, it's the next big revolution which is coming up in India, and it's going to be the National Digital Health Mission, how everything will work over here, how everything will move over here. Now, Unified Health Interface नेशनल जो हेल्थ अथॉरिटी हमारी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ के अंडर, ये हमने आपको पूरा प्रोसेस दिया है, पूरा इकोसिस्टम दिया है, which you can read at your own time. Those are interested about medical tourism and wellness tourism and yoga, meditation, naturopathy through their travel tourism business. It is very important for all of them. It's available on the YouTube. You can see in your own time. You can stop the video. You can watch. Next big thing which is coming up in our industry, in our universe, is artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of the global economy lies in the artificial intelligence. जो AI है, it is expected to be one of the fastest growing industries in 2023. Mark कीजिएगा, 2023 के अंदर this would be very important, and it is already valued somewhere around 329 billion US dollar equivalent in industry. Artificial intelligence has already begun to revolutionize many industries such as healthcare, finance, transportation, education, skills, and of course, the time is not far. It's coming to travel and tourism also. In hospitality, it has come in a very big way. Now, greater investment in digital and automation technology startup, that should also get priority in the new budget, which gets, peshkash tomorrow morning by the Honorable Finance Minister. Now, innovation that will shape the future, robotics are going to play a very important role in all walks of life. So when you talk about RPA, it's the robotic process automation. That's once again. India ki jo drone industry hai, that is also coming up in a very big way, and it is the fastest growing drone market in the world. You got to understand how quickly and how soon, just merely earlier somewhere when you talk about what its share was and what it is today, the compounding growth which has taken place is mind-blowing. Electric vehicles, that's another revolution coming up in a very big way. We are pretty sure that tomorrow, Honorable Finance Minister would certainly somewhere talk about green energy, clean energy, and she will talk about the electric vehicles and other things. Let us see what incentive they get. Now, if you remember the FAME scheme, the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, that's what I was talking about with you. Jo big push hai towards Prime Minister vision of sustainable transportation under the FAME, the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. So this is again coming up in a very big way. E-commerce. E-commerce is going to play a very important role for all of us, ladies and gentlemen, because e-commerce will tell us a lot as far as the industry growth is concerned. Let's move ahead and see it over here. Logistics sector. थोड़े दिन पहले आपको याद होगा कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लॉन्च किया था एक लॉजिस्टिक का पूरा विजन डॉक्यूमेंट, एंड ही गेव कि लॉजिस्टिक पुश से क्या होगा, इसीलिए बेटर रोड, बेटर रेल कनेक्टिविटी, बेटर एयर कनेक्टिविटी, मोर एयरपोर्ट्स, मोर ट्रेन, मोर वंदे भारत, एंड एट द सेम टाइम नेशनल हाईवेज बीइंग डन. Wonderful way you can travel, you can reach any place in the fastest pace. Okay. Energy industry's expectation from the budget, that also got to see. Two major updates are there. The previous year budget allocation, good sums towards research and development, multiple successful prototypes got the benefits of such benefits. तो उन budgets का जो पीछे था, this year energy industry expects funds to be allocated for prototyping and proof of concepts. At the same time, जो fossil fuel की हम बातचीत करते हैं, petrol and diesel, that will be brought under GST. Today, petrol and diesel are in the ambit of the VAT, which comes under the states and hence causes a lot of price variation across the country. With a unified, the pricing and the taxation structure, the consumer will largely be benefited. All of us, we have to understand. And GST की collections देखिए आप, imagine कीजिए, Mohit Chaudhary is writing, why the GST on education services? Tomorrow's budget hope something relaxation for students in 2023. Great suggestion, great views of Mohit Chaudhary. Now expect government to introduce better incentives to promote green economy. हर एक कोई greenery की बात करता है, green economy की भी बातचीत है. Some of the key focus areas towards green energy, they will include decarbonization, adoption of the fast track in technology, production link incentive schemes जो मैंने PLI की आपसे बातचीत की, टैक्स की जो slabs हैं उनका revision, green energy financing and energy this conservation bill, then mandate on the green hydrogen consumption, enhancement of the home loan interest deduction limits. All these are very important areas which we have to take. Climate is going to play a very important role because we have to take care of environment and we have to look towards sustainability, because unless we don't look towards that, we all are going to pay very high price and a very heavy price if we do not control global warming and if we do not look towards climate in a more serious way. We got to understand. Now, tax benefits to promote solar energy, that also we will try and see, because this is again very important. MSME plays very important role. It's the backbone of the India's economy, and we got to see what exactly comes for the MSME tomorrow. And then startup budget expectations. जो startups हैं, they're also looking forward to, because आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के आगे अमृत काल में जो हम आगे चल रहे हैं, lot of things to be seen over there also, and we will take into consideration. Now, export की जो industry है, उनकी क्या expectations हैं? So always we talk about product linked incentives. That part has to be taken into consideration. और कुछ broader focus भी करना होगा budget में to continue, the promote the growth with the focus on local manufacturing and exports, and keeping it in sync with the Make in India agenda. The supply side has been well managed and the demand side needs more attention. That is something very important. Now, expectations of the banking and financial sector, what are they expecting? The various views of theirs and how do they want to move on, and gig economy and the labor codes, all that new labor laws which has to be amalgamated in the labor codes. And then we have to ensure the wage security, social security and health security to 50 crore almost workers. Now coming on to next, widen and enhanced social security benefits to the workers without any additional financial obligations. This is again very important point for the gig economy. 4 labor codes, इसके बारे में भी 29 लेबर लॉस की हमने बातचीत की है. तो न्यू लेबर कोड की जो डायरेक्टली इंपैक्ट है ब्लू कॉलर वर्कर्स पर, जो हमारे बैकबोन है लॉजिस्टिक एंड सप्लाई चेन इंडस्ट्री के, उसके बारे में भी कल चर्चा जरूर होगी. दैट हमारा विजन और अनुमान है. जो मिलेनियल्स हैं, दे आर लुकिंग फॉर सिंप्लीफाइंग the income tax benefit process, filling process, documentation, सब चीजों में, boosting the standard deduction limit and enhancing the benefit of the college loan among others. These are some of the recommendations also. अब Skill India with the future technology कैसा है, skill की industry को क्या-क्या incentive चाहिए, budget 2023 to empower women entrepreneurs in tier 2, 3 and 4 cities. देखिए tier 1 city में तो बहुत कुछ हो रहा है because everything is at arm's length. You can just go fetch, pick up and everything and you can grow. Think about those cities which are in city tier 4, tier 3, tier 2. They also want to move up in the ladder. Media entertainment industry, our radio, television, theater, music, films, and in the last budget, there was a mention of AVGC, that is your animation, visual effects, and your gaming and comics. All that has to be seen. These could be the models basically for the future policy, which we have to take into consideration. Media entertainment industry can contribute a large, huge as far as industry is concerned. And I'm pretty sure that we all will take into consideration how media entertainment, this AVGC I was talking about, the animation and gaming earlier with you. Hope the government provides clarity on the tax slabs applicable to skill gamings. Then another trend which comes to our mind is before the budget that Bollywood and Tollywood, they are coming closer. The future of the cinema, You got to see how the Netflix, that means your OTT platforms, how will they grow? Your Prime Videos, Hotstars and Z and others. So we got to understand what is our subscribers base in India and how can we make it grow? How can we think about it that the future of the all three big, the giants, that is Bollywood and Tollywood, they work together and support each other and cooperate with each other. Financial services, when we talk about, introduce a new and simplified tax and regulatory frameworks, then provide tax and regulatory relaxation for the digital innovation. That's again something very important which we have to take into consideration. One of the young boys on the YouTube is writing, Dilshan, I want to earn and learn in government sector with my present study. Kindly guide us how you should make your hobbies and your spare time, how you make it valuable, how do you earn some pocket money, how do you part-time job. So global capability centers, that is also being talked over here, where we have taken into consideration streamlining the safe harbor to provide ease of doing business and tax certainty. Eligibility of the input tax credit on construction of immovable property. Develop physical, digital, and skill infrastructure and ease the process of setting up of, that's your GCC, Global Capability Centers. Then reduce the tax cost on services exports. This is again something very important which we have to take into consideration. Now, what is Global Capability Center? What exactly is this? Now, these are the technology-based and shared services centers of the MNCs in India. And these are growing rapidly as global companies look for talent to help them digital transformation. You got to understand how the things are moving in this particular direction. Now, tax relief for the middle class and particularly salaried class, all of us, we are looking forward to what the Honorable Finance Minister announces tomorrow. What could be the incentive for research and development if you are a serious student, how you can take the journey forward. Focus on job creations. Now, this is something very important, making a future-ready workplace, greater infrastructure, and communication development in the rural areas, tier 4, tier 3, tier 2 cities, that also has to be taken into consideration. Now, Amritkal 2047 की जब बातचीत करते हैं, तो यूनियन बजट 2023 कल का कैसा होगा? Keep your finger crossed. It will be a wonderful budget. This is something when Prime Minister is thinking about 5 trillion economy, and at the same time, he has given a task to the Honorable Commerce and Industry Minister and Finance Ministry and everybody. Let's work out the strategy. And when you look at it, you got to understand what is our present policies and what should be our future policies. Now, G20 की जो presidency India को मिली है, and budget 2023, which is coming tomorrow, we got to synergize, we got to work together, we got to make economy empower and grow. That's the way we have to take into consideration the benefits of G20. As expected, the rebound and inbound tourism, growing demand for India's services sector is such as medicine, law, and even gaming may help the countries boost services export revenue to 1 trillion by 2027. 3 years ahead of the estimates, you can take 1 trillion services exports. And of course, he is talking about other areas as well. Over here, if you see right from Niti Aayog till the last man on the ground, last mile, how to transform youth, their skills for the future role of government and private sector is something very important, which we have to take into considerations. Now, what is going to be the future of the Indian education? We all got to understand the National Education Policy 2020, what kind of an expenses we have got. So over here, if you see financial year 19, it's shown 3.1. Then financial year 20, it's again shown 3.1. And 20, when I talk about further, 21 how it's going to be, and 22 how it's, and 23, year 23, what do we expect in that year? Now the education budget, if you have a close look at it, I do not wish to discuss more onto it because you have to understand the graph. I have found a suitable graph for you so that you understand it very well and we plan the things ahead. How much budget? KPMG had come very nice report when the budget 2020 was given. What could be the key announcements for the sector, and thereafter school education, higher education, skilling, all that was taken into consideration, taxation in education sector, and then school education, higher education, vocational education. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me just come to the end of this curtain raiser today. Tomorrow, wait for the union budget coming on 1st of February. Keep your pen and paper with you. Take the notes with you. What exactly is there in the service industry? That would be something very important. And then as we would further deliberate, tomorrow I'm traveling. I would like to spend some time just to listen to the budget, to grasp the budget. And thereafter on second evening, we'll come with the curtain raiser as the synthesized part of the budget with a focus on education, skills, and tourism sector, because we are focusing on service industry. We will also talk about what kind of benefits are being given to the non-resident Indians if they want to invest, if they want to come to India, how it should be done. That part would also be taken into consideration. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me convey my deep gratitude and thanks to all the dignitaries, those who have joined on the program today. By and large, I have read everybody's name. If I have left and omitted someone, my sincere apologies. I'll try and pick it up day after tomorrow on second evening when we meet with the new budget, with the focus in service industry, with specific focus on education, on skills, on technology, along with the domestic tourism, Indian tourism industry. Stay fit, stay